everyone. Welcome to episode 124 of the Otafest podcast. My name is Dio. Welcome back. I'm the recurring special guest, and I am joined with Jay, Nancy, and Angelo.
We
Hello.
made her do the intro.
We did.
Yes, we
and she
forced
did
it on
I've
great.
been voluntold.
Yep. Welcome.
And you did great.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello.
She did it in one take.
Pretty much Merry Christmas. This will be the Christmas episode. So,
It will be the
happy
Christmas
holiday.
episode.
Enjoy your
Criminus.
time off. I don't care if you celebrate whatever you celebrate. It's a good time to just take a chill pill for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Criminus.
Criminals.
This episode is coming out on my birthday.
Oh yes, birthday.
Birthday.
What
Yeah, he gets to be a big birthday boy.
what you gonna do for your birthday?
I'm gonna go to work.
No,
Like
that's
the big boy you
what he's
are.
trying to say is that his present is the money he gives himself from working.
True.
I don't give. If I gave myself the money, I wouldn't be going to work at all. I'd just keep the money.
Well then,
Ah.
too bad for you. You don't get to keep the money.
I'm earning that money.
You earn the money.
And you're working on Christmas as well?
And I get off at 8 a.m. Christmas morning.
Merry Christmas.
Yikes.
Merry
I'm not Santa.
Merry Creamy Holly.
Yikes.
But yeah,
What are you guys gonna do for your time off?
I have technically Christmas is counted as a day off, but I'm still working 8 hours on Christmas, and then I've got a Boxing Day off, and then I'm going back in.
Yeah, I do
Then-
not
then
have
I'm working
any.
again.
I do not have any holiday time off
Aw.
aside from the required statutory Christmas Day, Boxing Day, but that's okay because usually, I mean, I never take time off at Christmas, like from work, because usually things get very quiet and
That's
like
like the
all
best
the customers, yeah, like all the customers and stuff take time off, so I can just quietly work
And make
away,
money.
and then
money.
and make, yeah, I get to make money and not be bombarded with questions
Bombardo.
from like customers and like the office. Well, I mean, it's a virtual office now, but when I was in physical offices, it was physically also very quiet. So it was very nice for productivity.
I can't remember the last time my schedule wasn't riddled with meetings and stuff that, actually allowed me, a solid chunk of 4 hours to focus. So I would absolutely appreciate a couple of days where I just actually had time to focus
Yeah,
and do a thing
feel that.
and be
Right?
productive.
I am also working all the way through Christmas, because I don't know. I was like, I talked to my mom. We're like, are we doing anything? And she's been very careful because she's not necessarily high risk, but she's always been a very careful kind of person, especially when it comes to personal health and everything. So we just made the decision not to do Christmas. I'm like, all right, time to make some stat cash. So I will be
Nice.
flush with dosh.
Make some moolah.
Oh, I just realized. Usually, you have your New Year's duck
Yeah.
event already set up, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Wait a minute, where's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, right."
Right.
I mean,
Plague.
we can arrange a virtual thing where we all order duck online to be
ducks.
delivered to the house.
Virtual
I
dog.
wish.
Wait a minute, that would be
That
pretty
would be good, except
That
the,
would be
the,
awesome.
okay.
the what do you call it? The wrappers wouldn't be as good because they're usually
Yeah, you
That
gotta
is
true.
steam them
They
yourself.
are better
Yeah.
fresh.
They
They are
are.
a special experience while they're fresh.
And duck is no good when you reheat it. It's just
Yeah, duck
It's
does
just
not
no
survive
good.
like the
it is
microwave
a
at all.
fresh
Or-
Oh, no.
meat.
even in the oven. If you try and heat it up in the oven, it dries it out, and it's
Yeah,
just
it
Oh,
doesn't
no.
as
It's
good.
a
It doesn't
special.
stay
It's a
moist.
special item. It's a special product for a special time that we will not be enjoying this year or next year for a lot of it, until it is deemed safe to do so.
Well,
Yeah, I will miss
New
it.
Year's 2022, we'll just have to have twice as much duck.
Yes,
True.
2 ducks per person.
eight
Tons of
ducks a
duck.
table. Holy crap!
Oh my
Oh
goodness!
my
8 ducks
gosh,
a table.
yes, a whole farm of ducks just for
Literally
for eating.
starve yourself for the last 48 hours before dinner.
No, we can't do that because we
No,
go
you drink
crazy
but then
when
you
we're
drink
that
water.
hangry.
You drink water and you just keep your stomach expanded, but not full.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I'm also just, I don't know. I think I work a lot of Christmases. I'm trying to take some New Year's time off. Speaking of which, just to be clear, probably should have mentioned at the beginning, but yeah, we will be taking a little bit of a break here, and we will come back, I think, either on the 6th or the 13th. Haven't figured that out yet 100%, but definitely
We'll figure it out.
Post New Year.
Basically,
Post-New Year.
we'll be back when anime starts airing again.
Yay!
Yeah, something like that. Actually,
Yeah, that's valid.
are you watching anything like during your time off?
I'll probably binge. Probably binge a few things.
Yeah. I have a couple things. I have a show that I want to finish, and I have a Korean drama that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head at this exact moment that I want to watch. But it's based off of a web comic, like a manhwa, like a Korean.
Wait, is it
web
True
manga.
Beauty?
Is it?
Is it
Is
True
that what it's
Beauty?
called?
Because I've been keeping up with the webtoon, and my brain has turned to mush on it.
No, it's Sweet Home. Sweet Home is the one. But I will check out the other one now that you're talking about, because I love reading those. Like, I love reading the Korean dramas and the manhwas and the webtoons. Like, I love them. They're so good. So
Yeah.
my plan is to watch that, and then there's also the How Many Dumbbells Can You Lift anime. I never finished it because I was like, this is the kind of show that I know I want to binge. Like, I don't want to wait for it to release weekly. I want to watch like 3 or 4 episodes at a time. And now it's all finished airing. So like that is on my
binge
watch list. Yes, that's on my
Take
binge
me
list, along
down
with
to
Probably.
K-Drama City, where the girls are strong and the boys are pretty.
Yes.
Oh my.
Nicely done.
Yes,
sir.
very well played. Pachi,
well
pachi,
done.
pachi.
I've never watched.
8888,
I've never
yes.
watched a K-drama, but I will one day, I'm sure.
I have watched some. Like, do you remember back when they used to quote unquote import K-dramas to Hong Kong by like dubbing over them in Cantonese?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, I haven't watched like a full K-drama since then, but there was one and there were twins involved and they were separated at birth, plus they were both orphans.
That's some.
Oh my
plus this,
God.
That's some
plus that.
Onagai
That's
twin
intense.
shit.
Oh, and it was just like it was up and down roller coaster every episode, and I was just like,
anime.
I was an impressionable young teenager, and I was just like, this is a ride. I can't handle this. And then little did I know, this is how many K-dramas are.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you like have to have a ramp up period where you like adjust to what it's like to watch a K-drama.
But they are intense.
wonder-
They are intense, and they do not
I honestly
stop.
wonder what's more dramatic, like between American soap operas, K-dramas, and like telenovelas or whatever they're called, like the Spanish.
Yeah, I know
Telenovelas
what you
are
mean.
definitely a trip.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Or like
They
and
are
maybe
wild.
like Bollywood dramas, because I know they have.
Yeah, the
I'm sure
Bollywood
those
dramas are
pretty-
crazy.
I'd love to like sit down and watch like one from each genre, that like a movie or show of each
Yeah.
genre, and then try to
And
be like,
figure out, like-
and the prominent ones, like they'd be ones that are already like, oh, this is like the best of that genre, and then we watch that one,
Yeah.
and then, like we're all
Like-
just like rank from
ones
each,
that have set precedents.
yeah, rank from each, like from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, your most dramatic, the craziest, like not necessarily the craziest storyline, I guess, but like the most extravagant, exuberant, crazy,
Over the top.
over the top energy. I think that would be hilarious.
So I would love
Yeah.
I would love to do this and then just have like a almost like dissertation level analysis afterwards and just be
Yeah.
like,
We could make PowerPoints. We could do little PowerPoint.
It could be an
5-minute
Excel sheet.
PowerPoint presentation.
You could have an Excel sheet you're going through.
Yes.
It's like, did they like check off like a trope or like a character that shows up or like a type of storyline that happens, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely like a weird like cross-generational trope thing that happens in a lot of, I want to say, like American ones, where it's like the stepdad ends up dating someone from like the daughter's pool of friends, and then there's a weird back and forth going on there. I wonder if that's a trope in many other like Asian dramas.
I think that we just need to play drama bingo.
Yep, okay,
Yes.
let's do it.
I'm
Let's do
so
it.
down for this. I'm 100%
Drama
into this
bingo.
because like I'm into this because I was really disappointed. I watched J-drama, a Japanese
My
drama,
drama.
and I didn't enjoy it, and I was just really frustrated because I liked the idea of it, but the execution, I was just like, no, you let me down. So I
Yeah.
would love to see different dramas from like different across all different cultures and see like which one is which country's genre, like dramas really like hit right with me.
And I've been watching a lot of like cinematography studies, so I'd be really interested just to compare everything on like a screenplay and cinematography level as well, just to be like, overuse of slow motion, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, that would be really. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do this because that sounds amazing.
I've never watched like J dramas necessarily, but I have watched like live action adaptations of like a manga or an anime series that I liked. For example, there was like Ore Monogatari, which is like super cute and stuff, and it's not necessarily a J drama in any means, but they did do a live action sort of OVA movie kind of thing, which was super cute, just like the anime was. Very wholesome.
Nice.
I'm down for it. I'm down for this.
Yeah, I'm
drama.
down for
Drama
this.
bingo.
I'm definitely into drama bingo.
Yeah.
And speaking of drama, there has been
a little
new
bit
drama.
of drama.
Ooh.
In the world of gaming.
In the world of gaming. In general.
Yes.
In the world of Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's a big one.
There's been a lot
Cyberpunk is the big boy right now. I'm still playing the game. I'm playing it on PC. I know Nancy's got it on PC. Angela's got it on PC. Dio, did you get it, or are you gonna play it?
I did not get it, but because I knew that it was not the kind of game that I would personally enjoy. And I figured that if I did want to play it, Angelo has it. We have a family share library, so if I do want to play it, there's nothing stopping me from playing it. But I have been watching a couple of different streamers play through it, and I got really invested in a close friend's playthrough that I had to watch his playthrough all the way to the end.
Nice.
Via Discord. We would sit in a Discord call and watch this one friend play. We were very into it. So I have seen the game from start to finish as a result.
But obviously, the drama doesn't really exist so much on PC. The drama, as I understand it, is on the
very console
based. It particularly has affected the last gen stuff, the PS4s, the Xbox Ones, but specifically the PS4. I think has gotten the worst of it, from what I understand.
Yes.
Just like
it really
the
has
worst bugs. I don't want to spoil it. But we're already like a couple of weeks past or a week and a half at least past the release.
Nah.
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil anything,
much.
but I did get one bug that annoyed me. Like, so on PC, I had one graphic bug that happened that basically happened during a very, like, it was an emotional sort of cutscene.
It was during a pivotal
pivotal moment, shall we say. And I think a lot of folks who have played the game, they'll sort of know, and if you've been following, you've already sort of know, but it involves a close character. And basically the graphical glitch, this is, again, I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible. They hand over a item to you, but at the time, the character was holding these they were dual wielding these pistols. So instead, they like did a weird thing where they put their gun through their head because they were touching their head for a moment, and then
oh my god,
and then
they passed this gun on to me.
And you're just like, what?
Like,
you're like, what is happening?
Right. You've broken the moment.
Yeah,
sir, I am not trying to summon my persona here.
My goodness. Yeah, I guess maybe for context for those at home who are like, what is all the drama about Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
So
give us the rundown,
post
Dio.
Cyberpunk's release, for those who aren't informed, Cyberpunk was released for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And specifically, it should be known that there are two generations when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation. There are two generation
PS4, PS5
cycles currently. Yeah. They're currently available right now. Cyberpunk was not released, was released for the PS5 as well, and the newer Xbox series, but it also was meant to support the older generation PS4 hardware. Right. So if you go to the store right now and you buy a PS4, you're getting a PS4 Pro, which is the newer hardware. Mm-hmm. But if you bought like a PS4 when it came out, you have what's called the PS4 Fat, which is the original PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the drama is concerned around the fact that Cyberpunk, because it's been in development for so long, all of the promotional copies and all of the promotional information and the promotional visuals and things like that, the trailers and everything, was all done and shown to say, hey, this game is going to look and play awesome on PS4. Which a lot of PS4 players, a lot of console gamers were like, that means if I have a PS4 Fat or if I just have a regular PS4, the game is going to run and look really good. And post-launch, it kind of didn't.
Yeah.
In a bad way. It had, even for PC players, like, I mean, PC players know that, like, hey, if I'm getting a new game and I want it to run and look beautiful, I need to have top-of-the-line hardware. And if I don't, I'm going to, you know, have to turn the settings down. You know, PC ports of console games are sometimes a little buggy, so PC players are a little bit more forgiving of this stuff. But PC players had bugs and were understandably annoyed, but we're like, hey, you know, this is normal for us. But console players were really frustrated because for them, there really is no alternative. Like, if you have a PS4 Fat and Cyberpunk doesn't run properly on PS4 Fat, your option is go buy a new PS4 and go buy a new copy of the game, which is frustrating.
Hooray.
And then as well, generally speaking, consoles do not do refunds the same way that, like, PC games do refunds, right? So if you buy a game through Steam and you haven't played, like, you haven't played within a certain amount of hours of the game, you can request a refund, and generally speaking, you'll get a refund of the game. But no such thing exists for console players. So a lot of console players were very frustrated that they got a game that was very riddled with bugs and didn't really live up to the expectations of what they thought they were paying for, and really felt that they didn't get anything. And so CD Projekt Red, the developers of Cyberpunk, said, hey, you know, try and start a refund process through, you know, whatever platform you've purchased if you really don't want to keep the game. Otherwise, we're gonna, you know, plan some patches for January and February to fix some of the issues. And PlayStation was like, excuse me, we don't do refunds. We have it written in our policies. We have never done refunds for any game. You buy a game, whether it's digital or physical, when you buy a digital game through the Sony store, there is no refund. They've never done this. And so they were like,
what do we do? What do we do?
What? They were like, what do you mean we're getting flooded and inundated with refund requests? So they were like, well, we're going to have to work out something with the publisher to figure out what we're going to do here. But if you are telling people to refund your game, we are delisting your game from the store.
Yeah, so they don't have to have anyone else buy it and then ask for a refund later. They're just trying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's sort of, as much as it sucks, they're
floodgates.
trying to almost future-proof any of the problems, and they're just like, we will re-release when the devs feel like they're at a better, more stable product for release, essentially.
Sony never should have put it on their store.
I mean,
Straight up.
I mean, I feel bad for them. Like, I feel like I agree with you. They shouldn't have. But, like, what can you do when your publishing partner says, hey, my thing is ready to go. I'm ready to release it. And then releases a buggy, messy
Well, here's
thing.
what you do. Because you have all the files, because it is your store, you look at them.
But the
And you
problem
see
is-
that it doesn't work.
Right, but I
if
mean,
it was
the
that
thing is, like,
easy, if only it was so easy.
No,
I
here's the
don't-
thing.
I-
Sony thought that they could get away with it, that it wouldn't matter.
I disagree with that. I don't think it's Sony's responsibility here. Sony
Yes, it is,
just-
because it's
no,
their store.
I disagree. That's like saying if you get a bunch of stock, if you work retail and you get a bunch of stock and you put it on the shelf and the manufacturer says, just kidding, it doesn't work, we're recalling it. That's not on you for not testing every single box of product that came in through your store.
As far as that goes, it's not so much that you have to test every single box of product, but if you are a retail store and you start selling a specific product, it's kind of your fault if that product is shit.
No, because
No,
stores
I
don't-
disagree.
Here's the
I
thing,
disagree.
Angela.
It's on the
No.
publisher.
Here's the thing. I can tell you're wrong immediately, and that's because when a product recall is initiated, it's not the store that initiates the recall. It's the actual product.
It's the
manufacturer.
manufacturer.
It's
the
a
product.
little bit different with physical
You are
goods
not-
and digital goods.
You are definitely not seeing it from the point
But-
of the reseller, which is it's not their fault.
Take, for example, the Apple App Store, because this has a lot more stuff that's just out there. Apple has a very specific, a grueling certification process for apps. If you do things that they don't like, they do not put your app on the App Store. If you have access to hidden APIs, they don't let you on. To the
Right.
point where it's so hard to sometimes get an app on the App Store if you're trying to do something that no one else has done before. Realistically, for a
Right.
large release like this, Sony should have tested it and been like, okay, you're saying it's good for this console, but we tested it and it's not. It doesn't
Right,
work.
But
I
I don't
don't-
think I don't think even if you compare it to the Apple Store, like that's the same reason why people don't want to use the Apple Store, or like people don't want to purchase Apple products. is,
No,
I know
here's-
I can't use things.
Here's what Sony did. They were like, you know what? People are going to buy it anyway. You're giving people a PS4 and a PS5 license for it anyway. Like that's one of the things. You buy the game, you get a license for both consoles because CDPR knew it wasn't ready for the PS4. They just
Right,
said
but
it
it's
was.
CDPR who knew that it wasn't ready. That's on them.
And Sony didn't have a return policy. They were like, you know what? People are going to
They've
give us the
never
money
had a
and
return
we
policy.
can't give it back to them.
Xbox doesn't
so
have a
it works
return
out for us.
policy. No console has ever done a return policy.
Exactly, which is kind of bullshit. But
But that's not the fault of the console manufacturer.
Yes,
that's
it is.
not a fault of the storefront.
it's literally
That's
their
everything-
storefront. If they can't do refunds, that's literally their fault.
No, it's the fault of Project Red for authorizing refunds without checking with the storefront who has to manage those refunds.
Oh, of course, but that's because CDPR owns GOG, and both GOG and Steam have been in this issue before, where they do have to create refunds because the EU and Australia forced them to.
Are mom and dad gonna get a divorce?
It's okay, Jay. We'll be okay. Who do you think's gonna get, rights to the kids, Jay?
Nobody.
Can I stay with mom?
But still, the point
The
returns.
kids are
Like,
doomed.
Too.
The kids
Sony
are
should
doomed
have
in this
looked at this
argument.
product and been like, no, you cannot sell this for the PS4. It doesn't work.
Listen, I agree with you. It did not work for the PS4. We could all agree on that. But I don't think the problem here lies with Sony. It sucks that they don't have a refund system, and now they're going through this process the same way that Steam had to go through it once, where they have to figure out how to do refunds because something that was listed on their store was a pile of garbage. But
Honestly,
the problem here
Like the
lies...
only fault that I can see in here
Yeah.
has nothing to do with faulty products. So it has everything to do with Sony. Well, faulty marketing, yes, but
Faulty
Sony
marketing.
also just not having a return policy is just weird. Like
It definitely
almost
is
every
weird.
other yeah, but I'm just saying like that's. But let's be honest, it's like it's not exactly.
Steam and
It was
GOG.
disingenuous. It was disingenuous of them to not have one before.
No, Steam and
And
GOG are
this is
unique
not a
in having
This is not a cyberpunk problem,
I will also point out that the Apple Store is an anomaly. No other distribution platform is that strict and that, fingers in the pie the way that the Apple Store is. It's not a bad thing, especially when it comes to things like, having backdoors in your app, that sort of thing. But they definitely take a more active role when it comes to what they allow to be sold on their storefront. So I don't
Right.
really know that you can really use Apple here as your comparison.
I think it's still fair because they just had to turn the game on and see. They could have figured out within an hour. One person, one intern could have said, yeah, no, don't put this on the store. It'll make us look bad.
I mean, maybe this is just one of those lessons that they had to learn the hard
maybe.
way.
The hard
Which
way.
is
That is
again
true.
like it's sort of a dumb thing to have to say because it's if hindsight is 2020, that's fine and all, but it's not exactly it's a very common practice. So the fact that they sort of fought against that practice for so long before something this big had to happen first, it sort of just speaks a lot to their business philosophy.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
I at the end of the day, I'm just frustrated for console players because I think it's disingenuous
It's not fair for
that
them.
like at the end of the day, if you're a console player, you got scummed.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, really, you got.
Well,
I
that's the
actually
thing,
think that you like if you're a console player, especially on the older gen consoles, you really got scummed here twice.
Yeah, and when we say at this point, when you even say older gen, that's not
It's
even
not
like
even
quite fair
old.
because it's literally just because the newest generation
Just
came out,
came
right?
out. Like it
What
just
are the
Just
odds that
barely.
CDPR delayed the console to try to get enough people on the PS5 so that the game would actually run?
Oh my god.
I honestly like the other thing is
just...
can I speak to that really quickly?
Absolutely.
Is just like people who are upset. I'm not saying you are not allowed to be upset about the bugs, because at the end of the day, you got a product that you paid for, that you were very excited for, and it didn't live up to your expectations. I absolutely understand that. Even though if I'm not experiencing as many of those big bugs on a different platform, I still feel for that, because I want people to be enthusiastic about the product that they look forward to. That being said, it's not that CD Projekt Red had not tried to push it back several times.
Oh, they did delay it.
But people look, it's not that, I'm not even saying that they just delayed it. I think there was, if you look back at a lot of the marketing, a lot of the tone of the messaging in the past year and a half even, I think that, again, with hindsight being what it is, I think you could find that there's a sort of undertone feeling about how hesitant they were to commit to an earlier date.
And I think
essentially
that's the thing that frustrates me.
But eventually they bowed to pressure, is what
and
I'm
I think that's what frustrates me. And there's Angela's about to talk about something that is completely related and very important, but I just want to interrupt, which is that it is a continual problem in the world of software development, and it's showing its ugly head here, that someone at the executive level overpromises and continues to overpromise and doesn't set expectations appropriately, and as a result has to bow to the pressure of the expectations that they've set, and the final product and the developers working on it suffer for it. To me, there is no reason ever, if you are in a position where something has been delayed 3 times, right, in the span of a couple of months, like we're talking here, right? The game was developed for full context, the game was postponed 5 times total. But when you've hit 3 times in a couple of months where you need to postpone your delivery plans and your launch date for something in terms of software, whether it's a game or anything, you need to now, your next postponement, and you need to be setting the precedent that this thing is not ready. You will not see it for years, not months, years. And that's where I think it is frustrating, is when you postpone it 5 times and you say it'll be ready in a month or 2, it sets the precedent that, well, it's been you know, you keep saying it's going to be ready in a month or 2 and it's been 12 months. Where is it? And I think that's exactly what happened here.
Wasn't their first delay an entire year?
Their first one was a year.
Yeah. Potentially.
But
it's just the pressure. A lot of that pressure wasn't necessarily like Sony, Microsoft, like publishing partners. Unfortunately, they bowed to fan pressure. And while the fans are like, you know, sort of what create the create the ability for these companies to build their product and distribute
the pressure was actually vision, all internal management. This has come out over the last couple days.
It isn't, because people will not shut up about where the hell is GTA 6? Where's the next Elder Scrolls? Where's, like, it's incessant. And I always, like, I've repeated myself several times on the podcast about this thing. I stay away from the hype machine as best as I can, number one. And number 2, just like in the case of, for example, Cyberpunk, I have stated every time that this topic has come out that I have been happy to wait, because I want a good product as much as anybody else. And I have time. I don't know about anybody else. There are so many games and so many other forms of entertainment that you can engage in.
Preach.
I'm not thirsty.
Jay, there were children in the hospital who died waiting to play this game.
As someone who is in software development for a day job, this is absolutely what I have to face, with a lot less publicity. But it's like, if they say we need to release this thing out to customers, the customers want this, they're demanding it, and it's like, yeah, but do you want this done right, or do you just want this done shoddy, and then they come back to us angry?
Yeah.
Do you just want the thing?
Yeah, can you play a couple other weeks of some indie game plus some DLC from some major games that you already have, and the Mandalorian shows? Like, do you need it?
I think
so badly?
And this comes back to like this key problem that I see in software development, and it's showing its ugly head in gaming, which is that why do these, like, and it's, to Angela's point, it's coming from the executives, it's coming from the leadership team. Why are you showing your customers shit that isn't ready? Like, if you just don't, like, think about it. If we go all the way back 10 years ago, Why were we being shown trailers for a game that was not even close to being in a playable state? Clearly, it wasn't even 50% done. Why? Don't show your customers if your thing isn't at least 3/4 of the way done. Like, this needs to be a rule in software development, period. If your thing is not 3/4 of the way done, do not show people. Do not give people a reason to anticipate its release. Just don't.
I give props to, and this is sort of just like their internal development process and the fact that they do produce first party games and they are their own first party publisher. But Nintendo obviously kind of gets a benefit here in that they typically do not show product like the next Pokemon, the next Breath of the
until
Wild,
it's ready to go.
whatever, until it's more or less probably in that 50 to 66% kind of stage, because they can control every step. They know that their product is exclusive to them through their distribution network, and they are happy to have it be ready, relatively speaking. It's not like, I think the first Breath of the Wild also had a Day0 patch. Like, that's not a problem, but I'm just saying that they're much more able to control that flow, and people are less disappointed because they don't have to bow down to internal pressure. They don't have to bow down to external pressure. They know that the product they have and how to distribute it.
Yeah,
which
I agree with that.
Also brings me to, this is the season to be jolly, but not that jolly because nobody's getting the things they want, which are consoles, graphics cards, processors,
games.
The big AAA game.
Speak for yourself. I shipped out a graphics card 2 days ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't a new one. Let's be clear here.
I'm joking because it's exactly what Jay's talking about.
You got told.
My nephew is building his first gaming PC. The big hype. He lives out in Ontario. And he had to settle for a last-gen processor.
Disgusting.
Pain.
Well, the 3000 series AMD processors are still fantastic. Like,
yes, they actually are pretty
You're
good.
going... He settled for fantastic instead of just mind-blowing, okay? Yeah. So, oh no. Only fantastic.
He has time to learn.
But the reality is, like, for graphics cards, there was no way in hell. My sister texted me and was like, hey, this guy seems kind of legit. And she sent me a listing of a scalper 400 kilometers away from her selling a 3060 Ti for $200 over market rate. And I straight up told her, fuck no. Don't fucking do it. I'm sending you my old GTX 1060. Use that for a few months until you can buy something in the store, and then sell that card and buy some video games.
First of all, a 1060 is still not too bad. I'm on a 1080 right now because I haven't installed my big baby.
Well, that's the thing.
But the 1080 still runs ultra for Cyberpunk as long as you don't turn on RTX.
Like a 1060, I would argue is still a great card.
In my opinion, not that you need to listen because then I'm sure you already know, but honestly, a 2000 series would be great for your nephew.
Yeah,
I think.
I told them
if you were to get a quote unquote new, a 2070 or 2080 would be good price point.
I told them actually,
more availability.
Go with a 2060 Ti or 2060 Super. I can't remember which one. And
2070 Super would probably be the best. Maybe.
The value per dollar of those mid-range cards is pretty good, exceptionally good.
Right now, they're
pretty good
because the 3000 series squashed down the price point so well.
Yeah. And I told them, like, if you want something, if you just want something still really good at a great value, these cards are there. You can get them.
It's true.
The new stuff, yes, it's better, but that doesn't mean the old stuff is shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I hope they have a good time. I don't know what games they're about to play, but I hope they find some good things.
I think he's going to have a ton of fun.
I think so too.
It will be good.
I am very excited for him.
If they're not too young and they're okay with some swearing, they could always join in Among Us or something.
That's the crazy thing. He's like 14 or 15 now.
Hey man, listen, that was prime. That's prime gaming.
Yeah,
you didn't have to tell on Austin how old we are. Okay, you didn't have to do it.
Yeah. No.
My boss's 12-year-old daughter has spent the entire summer playing Among Us with her small bubble of student friends.
That is
And they have
so
even
cute.
they have even played Among Us RP without the game. They just play in the living room.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute.
I
It
love
is adorable.
that.
That's
They're
great.
using their imagination.
Those are prime-
Yes.
Our prime years are behind us. We no longer spend every night playing Left 4 Dead 2.
Pain.
Imagine liking video games so much that video games replace hide and seek.
I miss making like a cushion fort from the cushions from the couch.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I miss
So good.
that. That was
Oh my
prime,
God.
comfy imagination days.
Last week at work,
Yeah.
I had to move a bunch of empty boxes because we were rearranging our storage room. And for more time than I normally would, I was considering, it's like, do I have time to make a box fort? Print out a sign that
Yes.
says no managers
The answer
and
is always yes.
and send a pic of it to my boss.
Oh my god.
Right.
I love that. I wish you had done it.
I wish I had too.
I wish you had. Oh man, and taken pics.
Yeah.
It would have been so good. That would have been amazing.
Back on sort of like the release talk, but not specifically. I was walking and talking with a coworker the other day, and we were talking a little bit about Cyberpunk. But I asked him a question that I would like you guys to see if you could answer, because I don't think there's a definitive answer to this. Cyberpunk, even with the not great release and everything like that, is probably unarguably the biggest game launch like expectation with hype and everything like that for the last little while. Like it's
Absolutely.
the biggest release.
Yes.
Bigger than the graphics cards, bigger than the
Unquestionably.
consoles themselves and stuff like that. It is massive just on its own. What's the next already announced thing that you think will get hype? Even if we don't want hype, we
Eventually,
should really discourage hype.
Elder
But
Scrolls 6.
What do you expect?
It was announced
Elder
2
Scrolls
years
6 isn't
ago.
coming for another 6 or 7 years. You know that, right?
It was announced 2 years ago. And that's the
Dear
thing.
God.
They've got the teaser trailer from 2 years ago, and they
A
have
6 to 8
no
year
other information out.
Cycle.
Well, does that
Right.
matter for the hype machine?
No, it doesn't. The hype machine will always
No,
live.
it doesn't. But I'm curious if there's anything maybe closer. Even though they did show a trailer, you're right. Like it's not outside the wheelhouse for this question.
I mean, that's just going to be the next most disappointing big release, is what I'm saying.
right. But what do you think is the next? Fair enough. Like the only ones that I have, and I can understand that not everyone's into this series, but I'm super looking forward to Diablo 4 maybe, because I really like the trailer. I rewatched the trailer a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and I really think the storyline could be interesting. The gameplay could be interesting.
Honestly, this
But-
is what's going to happen.
I can't think of a lot.
In like the next year or two, Nintendo's going to announce a new Pokemon game on the Switch or whatever the next console is, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god, look at the fluffy Pokemon." And there's going to be a hype machine around it, and then a lot of people are going to buy it, and then they're going to be like, "Wait, the game it's kind of like it's made for kids or something." It's not really what I wanted
No,
it to be.
like on that note, like Breath of the Wild 2 is probably gonna come out.
Oh, you're probably right, actually. Yeah.
I think Christmas of 2021. That's my guess. Just because they did show a trailer either a year ago or so, a year and a half ago maybe. So that means for them that they're actually fairly close in developing to the end. But I don't know if it's gonna get as much hype. Like I'm wondering what the next big hype is. Not just like, oh, that'll be good. Like it might. Like there's no GTA 6 announcement yet. Where's that? Some people are excited about a game called Elden Ring, but that hasn't gotten a lot of hype.
Well, I
because they're
remember
very
hearing
slow
about
on
that.
Actually, yeah, they've been very slow about actually producing teaser info and all that kind of stuff. So I can't like it's weird. We're sort of living like the consoles are all out, except for Intel. All the big tech bits for PCs are out. So sort of, and again, the big game of the last 2 or 3 years is out. So what's the next big thing? There's a big lull in hype, but now people are oh, we can't get hyped about things because we ruin it for ourselves, and they sort of realize it. But there's gonna be another time where we're gonna have the hype product, but I can't tell what it is yet. It's not a title that's popping up in my head, and I don't know if anyone has it. has more
I think
suggestions.
I'll stay away from the hype machine for a long time.
I think the
because
next
that's just
big
what I
thing
tend to do.
is jabbing a needle
Yeah.
in your arm and getting pumped full of juice.
Ooh, big juice, hype juice,
Juice.
hype juice.
I want the anti-COVID juice.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
I'm
want
hyped.
the juice.
The hype machine for that is real.
Give me the juice.
What's the meta? Have you guys seen like the Metacritic scores for that yet? Or are those,
It's pretty
are
undecided.
the pre-release ones coming out,
Yeah.
or
Pretty undecided. It sounds like they're still debating over a couple of different release versions.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's always tough. But I really hope that I don't need a day one patch.
Yes, seriously.
Day zero patch.
I hear that there's going to be DLC for it. Like you get the base, and then like a few months later you get the DLC.
Boo.
Oh,
2 months. I think it's just a couple of weeks. It's got a really short production.
To be fair, I haven't looked at almost anything about the COVID vaccine other than hey, I'm glad people are finally getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that people are able to get what they need to protect themselves and in a timely, safe manner. I hope at this point you gotta just trust that everything's gonna work out. Be optimistic, even though nothing's just black and white about this whole situation. Stay optimistic, right?
You know, the instant one bad thing is linked to that vaccine, anti-vaxxers are just going to be
All over it.
all over the place.
Yeah, but let's not get into that.
Nope.
I like the people who are more logical. They're all like, I do wonder if there's any major side effects that we haven't seen yet. But my favorite meme that I've seen about the vaccine so far is the biggest side effect is people who've gotten the vaccine can't seem to shut up about how great it is to have it.
True.
And I was like, that I'm okay with
Yep.
that.
Same.
Yeah. I think on that note, I'm happy to sign us all off. We're all going to take a little holiday break. So look out for us again in the first week of January, and we'll probably have an episode out by then.
Huzzah!
Yeah. I hope everyone takes care.
This cursed year can't be over fast enough.
Yeah. Make lots of
Yes.
money.
I'm ready for a new cursed year.
Yep.
I might get a piercing too, but maybe not so soon.
Ooh,
but sooner.
on the nip.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Probably on ears. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere.
That's
Nowhere
fair
super.
too. You're allowed to get ear piercings.
Hell yeah.
Who are
see.
you? The
More
piercing
holes.
police?
Yes.
More holes for the head. That's what I need.
Holes for the whole god.
Yeah. Okay. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays, everyone.
Happiness
Happy
all
holidays.
around.
Happy New Year.
Be good. Make good choices. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.